interpretation. Let's do 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Start by reading the interpretation. Talk about what score you would give this student and why with the person you're sitting next to. Go for it. I see Grace is starting to look at the CFS as she's reading it. I hear Jose and Elizabeth starting to talk about the CFS. CJ, Ray, and Andres are talking about the CFS. Start giving it that score. Start explaining why. My question to you is, do you know, like, whether this person thinks Okay, let's take a straw poll. Raise your hand if you said this person deserves a 0. All right, raise your hand if you said this person deserves a 1. Woo, Charles, you're tough to impress. Raise your hand if you said this person deserves a 2. Hold them up high. And raise your hand if you said this person deserves a 3. Okay. Alvaro, why do you say this person deserves a 3?
I said this person deserves a 3 because it meets all of the CFCs properly.
Okay. What CFS? Point some of them out to me.
CFS.
Yeah.
Oh, well, for example, they explain the strategy.
What's the strategy? What's the strategy that they explain?
They explain the science.
Okay. So they name the strategy that he's trying to use, right? Like using data to try to prove his point. Those are. Oh, sorry.
Science decision.
Where's the tie back?
The last sentence, moreover, the diet under together is necessary to be keeping a balanced health, something one can assume from an agricultural-based economy.
Okay, so those of you that gave it a 2, why? Because Alvaro is telling me, saying this person deserves a long 3. Xavier?
Because it's not like he's studying it, he's arguing, it's a bit different.
So where do you need to be explaining if the argument's effective or not? Where do you have to put that, Corey? The tie back, right? So that's one thing. Isabel?
Okay, I'm just gonna take it because I know it's mine. So, so on the part where I said it is clear that speaking to 100 gathered animals would have to be unity, I think I should move that to the bottom and then like say like directly put it like saying that's how it like effectively proves his argument, so that it's part of the saying whether it is or not.
Okay, so that's how you would revise your own interpretation, is you take this down and then add in explaining how it's effective or not effective. I like it. Demetra?
I think that like, I don't know, maybe the strategy a little bit different just a little bit better.
So making the strategy a little bit
Because I
clearer.
hear you read the sentence and then put it in.
Okay. You take that feedback, Isabel? All right, cool.
So let's do that.
Flip this page over to the back. So as we're moving on into revisions, I do want you to come up with a plan for revising your interpretation. So it's literally, you're just writing the word plan. Yeah, very exciting. So we talked about a couple of things looking at the student work, right? Like we talked about naming that strategy, narrowing in on the evidence, and the tie back. So based on what you've seen for student work, I want you to give me 2 ways you're going to go back and revise. So Isabel already has one because we looked at her interpretation. She thought about a way she's going to go back and revise it to get that 3. I want you to do the same. Once you're done working on your plan, log into Google Classroom, start working on those